In the year 2234, Earth had become a nexus of technological advancements and interstellar diplomacy, buzzing with ships from distant galaxies and myriad alien species. Yet amidst this cosmic dance, humanity still harbored an insatiable curiosity for the unknown. Dr. Julian Marks, a prominent exobiologist, sat hunched over his desk at the Earth Space Agency, scanning through his daily dose of interstellar communications. His life was dedicated to understanding and documenting new life forms, but today's message was unlike any other. The communication was encoded in a stream of quantum-entangled particles, ensuring it was both instantaneous and secure. Julian adjusted his glasses, his eyes widening as the decrypted message appeared on his holographic screen. Urgent. To the men of Earth, we are the women of Xylaria, a planet in the Virgo supercluster. We face a grave crisis. Our population is dwindling, and our civilization teeters on the brink of extinction. We require immediate assistance. This message is a plea, a request for help in preserving our race. We urgently invite Earth's men to join us in our world to aid in our survival. Our coordinates are attached. We await your response. Julian blinked, his scientific mind racing with questions. Who were these Xylarian women? How had their population come to such a critical point? And importantly, why reach out to Earth specifically? The message had all the markings of a legitimate plea, and yet something about it seemed almost mythical. With a mixture of skepticism and intrigue, Julian decided to bring the message to the attention of his superior, Director Ava Singh. Walking briskly through the sleek corridors of the agency, Julian entered Ava's office, a panoramic room overlooking Earth's horizon as seen from the orbital station. Ava, a woman with sharp eyes and an even sharper mind, listened intently as Julian relayed the message. "This could be a prank, Julian," Ava said, her voice tinged with caution. "I thought so too," Julian admitted. "But the quantum signature matches no known forgeries. It's worth considering." Ava pondered for a moment, then nodded. "All right. Organize a team. I want our best linguists, exobiologists, and security on this. If this is real, it could be a major diplomatic and scientific event." With Ava's approval, Julian set about assembling a team. He chose Dr. Lana Zhao, a linguist known for her work in decrypting new alien languages, and Dr. Eric Turner, a security expert with experience in extraterrestrial threats. The team gathered in the briefing room, where Julian projected the hologram of the message. Lana raised an eyebrow, her interest piqued by the language used, a mix of plea and command. "The syntax is complex, indicating a highly developed language. They're desperate, yes, but there's a formality to it," Lana noted. Eric, ever the skeptic, crossed his arms. "We need to consider the security risks. This could be a trap, an attractive bait to lure us into a hostile situation." Julian nodded. "Agreed. We'll proceed with caution. Our first step is to send a probe to these coordinates. We need eyes on Xylaria before any human steps foot there." The decision was made. Julian felt the weight of the unknown pressing down on him. This mission could change the course of human interaction with the universe forever. Was Earth ready to answer such a bizarre and erotic plea? Only time would tell. As the probe was prepared for launch, Julian couldn't shake a lingering thought. Were the Xylarian women truly looking for salvation, or was Earth stepping into a cosmic trap? With a mixture of dread and anticipation, he watched the probe disappear into the star-speckled abyss, its journey a silent beacon of Earth's boundless curiosity, and perhaps its naivety. As the probe hurtled through the void towards the coordinates provided by the Xylarian message, Julian and his team monitored its progress from Earth's orbital station. The anticipation was palpable. Every piece of data retrieved could unravel more about the mysterious plea from Xylaria. 2 weeks into the mission, the probe began its approach to Xylaria. The planet emerged on the screen, shrouded in swirling clouds of vivid aquamarine and stark white, its landmasses hidden beneath a thick atmospheric veil. Initial scans revealed a world teeming with life, its biosphere rich and varied, yet there were anomalies. "Look at these thermal readings," Lana pointed out during one of the briefings. "There are vast regions with higher temperatures than normal. It suggests significant geothermal activity, or perhaps something else." Eric leaned in, scrutinizing the data. Could be technological in nature. Maybe that's how they sustain themselves, given the harsh conditions. As the probe descended through the atmosphere, it deployed drones to capture more detailed scans of the surface. The images revealed sprawling cities that blended organic structures with advanced technology, their designs both alien and mesmerizing. The cities were surrounded by vast tracts of uninhabited land, with signs of decay evident in abandoned outposts and withered flora. "This doesn't look like a civilization at its peak," Eric remarked grimly. "More like one holding on by a thread." The probe's communication intercepts painted a more complete picture. They captured broadcasts in the local language, filled with urgent discussions about declining birth rates and a societal shift towards desperation. The team worked tirelessly to translate and understand the nuances. "It's not just a physical issue," Lana concluded after a deep dive into the intercepted communications. "There's a psychological toll that's affecting their society. Their calls for help are as much about finding hope as they are about seeking physical aid." Julian, processing the layers of complexity in their plea, made the decision to initiate contact. Using the probe's communication array, he sent a message to the Xylerian authorities, expressing Earth's intention to help, pending further discussions about the nature of that assistance. The response was swift and emotionally charged. The voice that filled the control room was melodic, yet carried a weight of sorrow. "We are the Council of Xyleria. Your willingness to reach out in our time of need brings us great hope. We are ready to welcome your representatives to discuss how we might bridge our worlds in this crucial endeavor." With the Council's invitation, preparations began for a manned mission. Julian selected a diverse team, including himself, Lana, Eric, and Dr. Mia Chen, a geneticist whose expertise would be crucial in understanding the biological aspects of the Xylerian plight. The days leading up to their departure were filled with rigorous training and strategic planning. Despite the unknowns, there was a shared sense of purpose that bound the team together. They were not just venturing into space, they were diving into the depths of an alien social and biological puzzle that challenged the very nature of human understanding. As their ship detached from the station, gliding smoothly into the starlit expanse, each team member carried not just the hope of two worlds, but the unspoken fears of what lay ahead. Would their intervention be a beacon of hope for Xyleria, or would the complexities of such an interstellar alliance prove too overwhelming? As Earth receded in the viewport, the answers lay waiting on the horizon of a distant, desperate world. As their ship entered Xyleria's orbit, the team prepared for descent. The planet below was a tapestry of blues and greens, its beauty belying the desperate messages that had originated from its surface. They landed near one of the larger cities, greeted by a committee of Xylerian representatives. The aliens were tall, with elongated limbs and iridescent skin that shimmered under the planet's twin suns. The head of the council, a stately figure named Alara, extended a hand in greeting. Her touch was cool, her grip firm, conveying strength and gratitude. "Welcome, Earthlings. We are honored by your bravery and compassion." The city was breathtaking, a marvel of bioengineering, where towering structures made of a translucent material pulsed with the life of the city. Streets were filled with Xylerians who watched the humans with a mix of curiosity and hope. Mia was fascinated by the architecture, noting, "Their buildings seem to be alive, perhaps part of a larger organism. It's unlike anything we've seen." The team was escorted to the council chamber, a large dome with walls that appeared to be a living membrane. As they seated themselves, Alara began to explain the dire circumstances of her world. "Our society was once thriving, but we have been afflicted by a genetic ailment that affects only our females, reducing fertility to near extinction levels," Alara detailed, her voice tinged with sadness. "Our attempts at scientific remedies have failed. We need new insights, new science." Eric, always focused on security and practicalities, asked, "Are there external threats contributing to this crisis? Something that might not be immediately visible?" Alara shook her head. "The threat is internal, a flaw in our genetic makeup exacerbated by environmental factors that we did not foresee. It is not just a biological crisis. It is a crisis of spirit. Our people lose hope with each passing cycle." Lana, proficient in Xylarian now, facilitated deeper discussions, helping both sides to bridge the cultural and linguistic gaps. "How do you perceive a solution involving Earth?" she inquired. "We seek to blend our genetic material with yours, hoping it will introduce the variability needed to overcome our genetic stagnation," Alara explained. "But more than that, we seek a partnership, a cultural exchange to revitalize our people's spirits." The proposal was heavy with implications. Julian pondered the ethical dimensions, the responsibility of influencing another species' future so directly. "We will need to conduct extensive tests. We propose a collaborative research initiative starting with non-intrusive methods." Alara agreed, and the following days were filled with collaborative efforts. Mia and her Xylarian counterpart, a geneticist named Tyron, began a series of controlled experiments. They shared data and techniques, learning from each other's successes and setbacks. As Mia worked, she noticed the dedication of the Xylarians, their hope kindled by the joint endeavor. They're not just looking for immediate solutions. They're planning for the long term, thinking about how to sustain these changes. Meanwhile, Julian and Lana explored the cultural aspects, attending local events and speaking with citizens, understanding their values, their arts, and their fears. This cultural immersion brought them closer to understanding the Xylarian psyche, essential for the partnership's success. One evening, as they observed a local ceremony under the light of the setting suns, Lana whispered to Julian, "There's more at play here than just survival. They're teaching us about resilience, about finding hope in despair." Julian nodded, his thoughts mirroring hers. This mission was not just about scientific or genetic rescue. It was about the confluence of two civilizations learning to coexist and enrich each other's lives. As the suns dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the city, the weight of their task felt not just formidable, but profoundly human. In the weeks that followed, the collaborative efforts between Earth and Xylaria intensified. Mia and Tyren, having established a solid working relationship, began to unravel the complex genetic code that dictated the Xylarian reproductive dilemma. They used CRISPR technologies enhanced with quantum computing algorithms to model potential interventions that could reverse the genetic decline without harming the unique attributes of the Xylarian genome. Eric, meanwhile, delved into the planetary defense systems of Xylaria, uncovering layers of sophisticated security protocols that had been neglected as the population dwindled. Together with Xylarian engineers, he worked on revitalizing these systems, integrating Earth's advanced AI-based threat detection algorithms to ensure any future interventions would not be sabotaged by internal or external threats. Lana's efforts in cultural integration were bearing fruit as well. She set up exchange programs that brought Xylarian artists to Earth and vice versa, fostering a new wave of artistic expression that served as a bridge between the two species. The programs were a success, igniting a renaissance of hope and creativity among the Xylarians, who had feared their cultural legacies would perish with them. Julian often found himself at the heart of these initiatives, coordinating the various efforts and ensuring that the exchange was beneficial and respectful to both parties. His days were a blur of meetings with Xylarian leaders, discussions with his team, and overseeing the setup of a semi-permanent Earth base on Xylaria. During one particularly intense session with the Xylarian Council, Julian presented a prototype for a new genetic therapy derived from combined Earth-Xylarian science. This therapy is designed to be administered at birth, ensuring that the genetic corrections are assimilated into the individual from the earliest possible moment, Julian explained, displaying holographic models of genetic strands transforming. Alara, who had been a stoic presence throughout the council meetings, showed the first signs of emotional relief. "Your efforts have rekindled a flame that was nearly extinguished in us. We see a future now, not just survival." However, not all were in favor of the rapid integration and changes. A faction within the Xylarian society voiced concerns about losing their identity, wary of becoming too dependent on Earth's technology and influence. This group, led by a charismatic leader named Corvin, began organizing rallies advocating for a more cautious approach to the genetic integration. Lana attended one of these rallies, curious about the dissenting perspective. Corvin spoke passionately about preserving the purity of Xylarian culture and genetics, warning that too rapid a change could lead to unforeseen consequences. Recognizing the validity in some of Corvin's arguments, Lana relayed these concerns to Julian. It's crucial that we address these fears. Integration can't be rushed. It needs to be a choice, embraced by all of Xylaria, not just imposed by necessity. Julian nodded, understanding the delicate balance they had to maintain. He proposed a series of town hall meetings across Xylaria, where Earth scientists and Xylarian leaders could discuss the technologies and changes openly, allowing for community feedback and involvement. As these town halls took place, the Earth team was surprised by the turnout and the depth of the questions asked. The Xylarians were deeply engaged, their queries ranging from technical aspects of the genetic therapy to philosophical implications of such profound change. These discussions brought to light the complexities of their task, reinforcing the idea that this mission was not merely scientific, but deeply humane. Each question, each concern raised, was a reminder of the shared destiny they were weaving, one not just of survival, but of mutual growth and understanding. As the Earth team retired to their quarters one evening, a message arrived from Corvin, requesting a private meeting with Julian and Lana. Curious and cautious, they agreed, wondering whether this could be a turning point in addressing the faction's concerns, aiming to unify Xylaria toward a common future. Under the ghostly glow of Xylaria's twin moons, Julian and Lana made their way to the designated meeting point with Corvin. The location was a secluded garden within the city, where bioluminescent plants cast a soothing light over winding paths. They found Corvin waiting by a reflective pool, the water mirroring the subtle dance of light around them. Corvin greeted them with a nod, his expression solemn. "Thank you for coming. I believe it's time we discuss our perspectives openly," he began, his voice carrying a mixture of resolve and apprehension. Lana responded with a gentle tone, aiming to bridge the gap of mistrust. "We're here to listen, Corvin. We understand the concerns of your people, and we respect them." Corvin paced slowly, choosing his words carefully. "Our culture, our very essence, is defined by our uniqueness in the cosmos. The thought of altering our genetic fabric, however beneficial it might seem, is daunting. We fear losing ourselves to an identity not our own." Julian listened intently, aware of the weight of each word. "We recognize the depth of what you're sharing. This isn't just about survival. It's about maintaining your identity. Perhaps we could consider slower integration phases, offering more time for adaptation and acceptance." Corvin stopped pacing, looking up at the shimmering leaves above. "That's a start, but we need more than just time. We need to ensure that our cultural heritage is preserved, that it continues to flourish even as we evolve biologically." Lana suggested, "What if we establish a cultural preservation initiative? This could involve extensive documentation, education programs, and even new cultural festivals that celebrate both Xylarian heritage and the new ties with Earth." Corvin considered this, his gaze reflective. A preservation initiative could indeed play a crucial role. It would provide a platform for understanding and integration without the fear of erasure. Julian added, "We could also set up a joint council that includes members of your faction to oversee the integration. This council could have the power to veto decisions that seem to threaten your cultural integrity." Satisfied that their concerns were being taken seriously, Corvin finally relaxed, a hint of a smile breaking through his usual stern demeanor. "These proposals show a respect for our traditions and fears. I will discuss them with my people. I believe this could be the foundation for a true partnership." The meeting ended with a renewed sense of collaboration. Over the following weeks, Julian and Lana worked closely with Corvin to draft the details of the Cultural Preservation Initiative and the formation of the Joint Council. News of these developments spread throughout Xylaria, calming much of the unrest and building anticipation for a future where both peoples could thrive together. Back at their base, Mia and Teren continued their genetic research, now under the watchful eye of the newly formed council. They made significant breakthroughs in isolating the genetic sequences that could be safely modified to enhance Xylarian fertility, without compromising their genetic uniqueness. As these scientific advances were shared with the public, they were met with cautious optimism. The transparency of the process helped to alleviate fears. and the involvement of the Joint Council ensured that every step was scrutinized for ethical and cultural implications. One evening, as the Earth team gathered in their common room watching Xyleria's skies change hues, Mia spoke up. "You know, we came here to save a species, but it feels like we're doing so much more. We're helping create a world where two cultures aren't just coexisting but are genuinely enriching each other." Eric, who had been mostly quiet, looked around at his colleagues, a rare smile forming. It's not every day you get to be part of rewriting the rules of interstellar relations. Let's just hope the universe is ready for what we're creating here. Their laughter mingled with the sounds of the Xylerian night, a symphony of alien chirps and the rustle of bioluminescent leaves, a testament to the extraordinary journey they were all part of, crafting a shared future on the canvas of the cosmos. Months had passed since the Earth team's arrival on Xyleria, and the results of their collaborative efforts were beginning to take tangible form. The first generation of genetically modified Xylerian infants, designed to counteract the reproductive challenges, was about to be born. Anticipation and anxiety were palpable across the planet, as both species awaited the outcomes that would mark a significant milestone in their shared history. In the heart of Xyleria's capital, a grand celebration was planned to coincide with the births. The event was meant to be a symbol of the new era, a festival of life and unity. Streets were adorned with vibrant banners depicting Earth and Xylerian symbols intertwined, and public squares were filled with art installations and performances showcasing the fusion of both cultures. Julian stood beside Alara on a platform overlooking the main plaza, where thousands had gathered. "Today isn't just about the success of a scientific endeavor," he addressed the crowd, his voice amplified and translated into Xylerian dialects. "It's about the resilience of the spirit, the courage to embrace change, and the strength found in unity." As he spoke, the first reports came in. The infants were healthy, their cries mingling with the cheers and tears of a hopeful populace. Mia, watching from the medical center, sent a message to Julian, her words simple yet profound. "It's a success, a new beginning." The news spread quickly, and the celebration took on a new intensity. Music filled the air, a rhythmic blend of Earth and Xylerian melodies, while dancers in colorful flowing garments moved through the streets, their movements a dance of joy and relief. Lana, mingling among the Xylerians, recorded their stories and emotions, a living archive of this historic day. "Each story is a thread in the fabric of this new society," she thought, her device capturing the vibrant scenes around her. Eric, ever vigilant, patrolled with Xylerian security forces, ensuring the event remained a joyous one. The integration of Earth's security protocols had fortified the planet's defenses, but today his focus was on preserving the peace of the celebrations. "Let's keep today safe, so the future can be secure," he reminded his team. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the festivities, Corvin joined Julian and Alara on the platform. His presence was a powerful symbol of the reconciliation and unity that had been achieved. "We were worlds apart," Corvin spoke to the crowd, his voice resonant and clear. "But today we stand together, not just as allies, but as family." The festival continued into the night, the sky illuminated by fireworks and the bioluminescent glow of the flora. Children, both human and Xylerian, played together, their laughter a sound of hope and the promise of a shared future. In the quiet moments of the night, Julian walked through the garden where he had first met with Corvin. The bioluminescent plants cast a soft light on his path, each step a reflection on the journey that had brought them here. He looked up at the stars, the same ones that shone over Earth, and felt a profound connection to everything under their light. "This is what it means to be a part of the cosmos," he mused, a sense of peace filling him. Not conquering it, but being a part of its endless story. And so, under the starlit sky of Xyleria, a new chapter began, not just for the Xylerians and the humans, but for all life that would come to know the planet as a beacon of hope and unity in the vast, mysterious universe. The legacy of this endeavor would echo through generations, a testament to the power of cooperation and the boundless potential of unity.